Hi, my name's Kian Moses, and today we will be analysing the play Ubu and the Truth Commission. Now, Ubu and the Truth Commission is created by the forces of three different people. The Handspring Puppet Company, responsible for the puppets, William Kentridge, responsible for the animations, and of course Jane Taylor, responsible for the play, being the playwright. Now, we're going to look at some examples of postmodernism. Within Ubu and the Truth Commission. So obviously, there's a supermarket of styles, the absurdist epic and the scatological style. Scatology is evident in the way Pa speaks. The absurdism is evident in the scene with Pa and the toilet brushes, the toothbrush, and the epic is revealed through the alienation techniques, which I'll get into later. The intertextuality, we've got Uberoi, which is a reference to a Jane Taylor's separate play, as well as the TRC, so we're drawing on different texts to be part of the one. Multimedia, as I said, is the animations, the puppets, and the play. And there's a breaking of the fourth wall with the animations and the puppets, which are giving these idioms and parables. Yeah. Then there's also the rejection of grand narratives with the witness puppets, which are giving very niche perspectives, as well as the overarching story being something that we're not used to, that we didn't fight for, essentially. So that's postmodernism being evident in Ubu and the Truth Commission with examples. The playwright's intentions was to use art to confront difficult questions about TRC and forgiveness. So the irony being, the closer you get to forgiving the person, the closer you get to amnesty by revealing more and more truths, it's harder to morally grant the person amnesty because they've done so much bad. 2, to critique political power, corruption, and the atrocities of apartheid. We see this with Niles, Brutus, and Pa, as well as to 3, shine light on the reality of the victims in an accessible way. Not to say that the TRC was not accessible, but just to show it in a different perspective. So those are the playwright's intentions and what they mean. Then the philosophy is present. So there's surrealism. Present in the play, we see this with the puppetry and the animations. They blur the lines between reality and fantasy. The puppets are all representative of different things. Niles is representative of the destruction of the truth, and Brutus, each head represents a different facet of the apartheid government. Surrealist examples would be washing away of the blood and the smell in the shower, as well as Uberoi being a symbol of power and darkness and evil. There's absurdism in the play. It's an absurdist comedy. We see the use of the toilet brush as a mirror and a microphone. There's Ubu dressed as a baby, which juxtaposes his action. He's dressed extremely childish and innocent, but he's extremely disgusting, vulgar, and evil. And then Ubu escapes accountability and punishment at the end. So really the entire overarching storyline is absurdist because it doesn't really make sense. We've built up to this point with it also aligns so closely to reality, and it completely subverts our expectations, and it's almost illogical and nonsensical at a point. Then there's obviously Dadaism. So we've got Ubu's scatological language, his scenes with the toilet brush, and him dancing away his crimes doesn't really make sense. He's just being himself. So those are the main philosophies present in Ubu and the Truth Commission, as well as examples. Then we're going to look at some symbolism. So we've got the all-seeing eye, which is present in the animations. So the all-seeing eye is there to say that all crimes were witnessed. This is again echoed in the witness puppets themselves. It's to say that God, another thing with the all-seeing eye is that it's the eye of God. In the same way that God sees everything, so does the all-seeing eye. It sees both the victim and the perpetrator, their actions, and what has happened to them. And it's saying that the perpetrators, they know the crimes that they committed because they witnessed them. Then we've got the camera and the tripod. So obviously it represents the TRC broadcasting the crimes to the nation and it being recorded. And it's also symbolic of post-apartheid South Africa. And also what happened a lot of the time is that these torture sessions were recorded and taken home by these perpetrators to be watched for their own enjoyment. Another symbol would be the toilet brush used by Pa Ubu, and it is the manifestation and total embodiment of Pa Ubu's disgusting and crude side. Another symbol would be the spiral of uncertainty. You could do the vultures being a symbol of death and foreshadowing what happens in the play. Now we're going to look some the historic, social, and political context of the play. So historic, there's apartheid because it talks about all of the crimes committed from the different perspectives, and we've got the TRC about how people were forgiven and how the victims suffered. And then we can see the social. It's like a toxic relationship between Ma and Pa. They're constantly stabbing each other in the backs and lying to each other. And we can also see the abusive and subservient relationship between Pa and Brutus. Pa abuses Brutus's trust and loyalty on multiple occasions, throwing him under the bus at the end. As well as political, apartheid is making up for the they made up for the country after apartheid, and it explains why our country is the way it is, as well as the corruption that's built into our government. Now, some of the themes present in Ubu and the Truth Commission, we've got the theme of power. We see examples of this when Pa and Niles undermine the power of the TRC by lying to it and coming up with their own stories. Pa abuses his power over Brutus by throwing him under the bus and having him take the brunt of the punishment. And we also see Ma abuse her power over Pa by snitching and running off to the media to receive material payment. There's a theme of death symbolized by the vultures and foreshadowed by them. Pa obviously kills a lot of people, and the animations themselves show the tortures and murders, and a lot of the victims come up and speak about the personal experience with death in their families. Then we've got obviously the theme of truth. The TRC aims to discover the truth. Niles destroys the truth. Ma reveals some of the truth to the media, and then Pa manipulates the truth to the TRC for his own benefit, and the victims tell their truth to the TRC. So those are 5 different ways that the truth is explored within the play. And then there's the theme of watching. So the cameras are watching the crimes and the victims, as well as the victims giving their testimonies as they're recording. A lot of the time they felt unheard and unwashed, and that the TRC was an outlet for them to do so. And that's Ubu and the Truth Commission. Those are all my notes on it. Obviously there's more, but that's all I've got. That's all you'll need, to be honest. Yeah. Thank you.